Here we go. So, what to expect from this video? I don't know. I honestly think it's gonna be just a lot of fried air, as we say in Italy. I don't see they're gonna disclose much apart something. Probably they're gonna. I'm expecting them to remark stuff that they've said already. Um, yeah, probably to make that kind of thing a bit more clear. But they're not gonna disclose anything new. What 2 3 days before the Tekken talk? 2 days before the Tekken talk? They're not gonna do it. But I'm curious to see anyway what they have to say. By the way, hello there, I'm the John, I'm live. I'm gonna just do a quick reaction to this new video that they've been told me has just been released. Let's see what they have to say. So we have
僕はですね、鉄拳8はその鉄拳シリーズを新しくしたいっていうところで、アグレッシブってキーワードを掲げて、その今まで守備的な要素が強かった鉄拳をより攻撃的で、プレイしてても楽しいし、見てる人が楽しくなるようなバトルシステムを目指すっていうところで。
I'm really not gonna try to stop this much, but Tekken was defensive at the highest level of play. If you were playing on a middle level, because I played Tekken 7, most of my Tekken 7 experience comes to be a middle level, an average player. You were aggressive as fuck. There were so many memes that was just about always attacking Tekken 7. Okay? This is what triggers me. You don't need to put aggressiveness in the highest level.
新しくしようというところに関しては、そこはうまくいったとは思ってるんですけど、一方でその攻めが強くて、攻めてる側が楽しいゲーム性が強すぎたっていう側面もあって、その部分は、結構まだ課題が多いなって感じていて、そのいい面と悪い面両方あるんですけども、そのシステム的な良さが新しく作り直せたってところは一個いい点だと思っているのと、それに伴ってやっぱ攻めが強いゲーム性っていうのは攻めのパターンを覚えると、誰でも楽しくうまくなれるっていう側面があって、新しいプレイヤーが非常に多く8から始めてくれたっていうところが、いろんなイベントでもテケートから始めましたっていう人が多かったり、先日我々が参加したマスターカップでも結構今まで見たことないような、若い人が、多く、大会に参加してくれたっていう点で、そのタイトルとして1年間見た時には、結構、成功した面もありつつも、課題としてシーズン2に持っていく部分もあったなって、収穫は非常にあったと思います。
Okay, so just a quick thought here. So giving credit, he took a bit of responsibility, like a touch, saying, maybe aggressive is too much. But then he didn't say that they want to reinforce defense. He didn't make it sound like this. It made it sound like, you can learn more way to attacks, which... But then when he talks about the number, it's a kind of a gray area in my opinion. Give it credit where it's due. This is the most successful Tekken ever. Tekken never had this amount of players. That's true. That's absolutely true. Tekken has never been more popular, okay? True. A lot of new people are playing Tekken. True again, I met a lot of people that started to play Tekken 8 as well. Now they start to do locals, or when I went to VS Fighting, which is the major here in UK, there was a lot of people that was this first Tekken, and they always look at me when I tell them, oh, which was your first Tekken? I told them Tekken 2 demo. I've been playing Tekken for 25 years, 26 years now. So yeah, it's insane. And it's good, don't get me wrong, it's good, because I still, like, the game is still very enjoyable, especially when you don't play in ranked. When you play offline, when you play with friends, when you play in lobbies, it's a great game. It's a great game. In that moment, it becomes a great game. Because it's enjoyable, because you don't have anything at stake, and it feels less daunting. This said, if you see how big the numbers were at launch, and how this game literally lost into the player retention, proportionally, considering how many players started and how many players are now, it's insane. It's just insane to me. And that's because the game, it's very rough to enjoy. Like, to be able to keep on playing this game, you have to go to a deal with yourself. Not for everyone, but for a lot of people, you have to come to this deal with yourself that you can take it. You have to take it in small doses, and that's not a good thing for the game. And why is this? Because when you get to a certain level and you need to start to play defense, there are still too many characters that can just destroy you by playing so offensively that doesn't make it fun. This kind of, I put you in a situation of I make you guess, I make you guess, I make you guess, which is not fun. And why this connects actually, why the game is more enjoyable when you play lobbies or when you play offline, because usually when you play lobbies, when you play offline, you don't find people that plays with this kind of playstyle at the end of the day, and it makes it more enjoyable. At the end, this is my personal experience, this is my opinion. Okay, everyone can have a different experience, everyone can have a different opinion. Let's keep on going. Wanna see what they keep on saying. Do you intend changing the aggressive nature? Obviously.
そこはあまり変えるつもりはないんですけど、やっぱり一方でシーズン1は守ってる側が非常に窮屈だったり、ヒートシステムが一方的な試合展開を作りやすかったりして、その駆け引きっていう面においてはちょっと守備的な面のバランスがあまりうまくいってなかったと思っているので、シーズン2においてはその 3D 格闘ゲームの横移動を中心とした守備だったり、攻めを仕掛けられた側が守る時の、守りやすさとか、やっぱりヒートシステムは本当に攻めの、起点となって爆発的に攻めが強くなる要素だったので、ある程度、そのプレイヤーだったりキャラクターの勝ち方のセオリーがもう出来上がってしまって、
戦略のセオリーだよね、
はい、みんながそれをやるのが正解っていうような状態だったので、シーズン2ではそこの幅を、広げるために、例えば、今1個やってることとして、自分がヒートの時に、地上で相手側にダメージを、実ダメージの 30% が
What?
回復可能体力で残るっていう効果を加えています。でそうすることで、ヒート状態を維持して、戦うっていうような戦略が
And then so you have the strategy of fighting while preserving your hit card.
で、今まではヒートになったらヒートスマッシュを打つか、ヒートの固有の強化要素を使って相手を一気に畳みかけるのが正解だったのが、実際ヒートを維持することで、その地上での駆け引きがよりヒートじゃない相手よりも自分が有利に戦えるっていったような戦略の幅が広がるっていうようなことをやってたりします。あとは、今回から一部のキャラクターでその構えのスタンスを取っている時にヒートバーストとヒートスマッシュっていうのがあるんですけども、こうすることで、構えを使った攻めに対して、相手の攻撃を受け止める属性のヒートバーストが打てるっていうような駆け引きが生まれるので、人によってヒートの発動の仕方も変われば、発動した後にヒートをどのように生かして攻めていくかっていうところに変化が生まれるので、そういった点でシーズン1よりできることが増えています。ヒート発動技を当てた後にしゃがみが選べるようにしたのは、しゃがみから強力な
Yeah, we all know that the crouching from hit engagers was because of Anna coming and her trademark 50-50 from full crouch.
っていうことがあって、アンナ以外にももちろんしゃがみから、いろんな、戦略を仕掛けるようなキャラクターがしゃがみを選べないことで、自分の強みを生かした攻めができなかったっていうのを生かせるようにするためにまずしゃがみを作れるようにしました。
でもあれよね、多分みんな分かってないのはゲームを作るときにしっかりしたキーコンセプトが。
Now, the crouching thing. There is a part of me that think that they should not give everyone the 50-50 crouching mix up on hit engagers. But if they want to reinforce the character's identity thing, they should have kept it for specific characters. But in that case, they would have had less advantage of a hit engager. Okay, so that you have still anyway kind of counterplays you can do around, and that would have been interesting. And again, it's the same. Is this in my mind? Is the same concept of all the hit dash move are +5. It doesn't matter if the move you're using when you're not in it is a -14 move. It becomes a +5. I think that's probably one of the most brain dead mechanics in the game. And it's just flats out every kind of depth you can have in the character. It would be way more interesting that every hit engager has got different values, so you get actually more advantages if you hit a very dangerous move, you know. And in that case, you can go into full crush mix-up. I know someone would say, "Oh, that becomes too difficult for the casuals to learn." No worries, this game is already difficult enough that casuals don't learn the matchups, so there is no point in keeping it simple for them. That's the point that is wrong with some of this kind of mentality. Okay, you have a game that is super complex. It's the most complex game. There are 5,000 moves in the game. But then you say, okay, all the dashes are +5 because otherwise it's too complicated. No, the game is already fuck complicated. So don't make it more simple. But I really I have to go back and re-listen to this. This is going to be a long video, guys. But this, you can recover 30% of your health. I didn't want to pause it. What is it? What's there? I really need... Rush down your opponent as a unique individual power-up abilities of it. Yeah. You pop it, you just press, it dash.
地上での駆け引きがよりヒートじゃない相手よりも自分が有利に戦えるっていったような戦略の幅が広がるっていうようなことをやったりします。あとは今回から一部のキャラクターでと思っているので、シーズン2においてはその 3D 格闘ゲーム
The latter aspect of 3D fighting game, which is good. It looks like you can sidestep from basically -7 now. I really hope it's like this.
やっぱりヒートシステムは本当に攻めの起点となって爆発的に攻めが強くなる要素だったので、ある程度、そのプレイヤーだったりキャラクターの勝ち方のセオリーがもう出来上がってしまって、
戦略のセオリーだよね、
はい、みんながそれをやるのが正解っていうような状態になったので、シーズン2ではそこの幅を、広げるために、例えば、今1個やっていることとして、自分がヒートの時に
When you're in it state and taking a lot of damage on the ground,
地上で相手側にダメージをもらってる。
you're adding the ability to recover about 30% health from the actual damage inflicted. What? Like, I cannot judge yet. And look, they are the game developer. Nakatsu, he is the game director, okay? And he's a capable man. And I will never dare to say, before even I see something, oh yeah, this idea is dog shit. But in my mind, one of the problems of Tekken 8 is that Tekken has always been a very complex game, but it was complex being barebone. Okay, if we go back before Tekken 7 as well, you just had the Rage, which is extra damage, but then it's barebone. There is no bars, there is no meters, there is no nothing. They added little layers of complexity until now, where they added all this level of complexity all at once because they wanted to make it feel fresh. Being hit and being the installs as well, which no one talks about because hit is such a big deal. This said, I honestly think that the solution of some of the problems of Tekken, it should not rely in this kind of things. But we will have to see until I try. Because this is just adding more layer of complication into the game, which are not the layer that what I'm talking about, different frames. This is more layer of more mechanics. In a game that was always bare bones simple. We fight, me and you, and that's it. Which is risky to say the least. I honestly, like, no, just make it in a way that you don't have to get so much damage when you're down. Like against King is the best distance, you know. You feel so hopeless against King. But okay, let's keep on going. Let's go back where we were. Okay, we're
いろ
here.
んな、戦略を仕掛けるようなキャラクターがしゃがみを選べないことで、自分の強みを生かした戦略ができなかったっていう点を
Then that's why I start to
活かせるよう
understand
にする
what
た
were
め
you
にまず
saying
しゃ
earlier.
がみを作れるようにしました。
でもあれよね、多分みんな分かってないのはゲームを作るときに
Again,
しっかりしたキーコンセプトがあって
Very
それ
true.
を守んないとまず面白いゲームにはならないからアグレッシブというものをぶれないようにしてる。でそれはある程度楽しさが担保されてでそれでまあ理不尽なとこもあるからコンセプト捨てるんじゃなくて理不尽
So
なことを
you
直
just
せばいい
fix whatever unfairness is.
これ理不尽
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. You're a game developer. You're a publisher. You're a big company. You cannot just do something, invest millions, and then you have people that cries, and you just say no. Okay, we change it. Certain degrees, certain things you change them, especially about marketing. Yes, communication can be better. Yes, that's when you change. Game design, you have one aggressive game. That's what you did all your marketing about. You keep on having an aggressive game. True. But there is a limit. Okay, having an aggressive game doesn't mean that one plays the aggressor and one basically plays RPG, plays the victim. Okay, that's not the point of it.
なところを直したりそれを弱めたりとか
Whatever it is unfair.
だから01じゃないんだよね
頻度を減らしたり本当に
It's not 0 and 1, exactly. No, it's never 0 and 1, guys. It's never black or white, it's always shades of grays. Okay? Never look at things as black and white. Never. That's one of the worst things you can do. You always have to find the balancing thing. On this one, I completely agree with what they're saying. But then the realization, that's a different that's a different topic.
反応で見ると鉄拳8のすごく変化したところって意外と変化したことに対しての否定的な意見は割とベテランの方が多いんですよ。長くシリーズをプレイしてる人の方がやっぱそこは意外と不満が多い。で逆に鉄拳8が面白いと思ってる人、例えば初心者に優しいか優しくないかって話とは全く別でその壁を越えてきて8が面白いと思ってる人は今回の8の仕組みがやっぱ気に入ってる。
And here it pisses me off. So the reason why veteran complains obviously is the game, because the game basically we feel like, partially me as well, obviously, we feel like everything that we study, learn, and put effort into is just being thrown away for what is become way more a button masher, even if it's not completely a button masher yet, but it's a way more just have fun game. If you play Clive on release especially, you really see it as like, okay, run into gas, if I do this into gas, so many characters are just Demon Paw into gas, 442 unit into gas, it's so many characters are like this. But why? Let's analyze this. Why do we think that the complaints comes from the veterans and not from the new player and the casual? Is it not maybe because the casuals or the newer player, as casuals a newer player, they are more adaptable to a system that for them as new player is new? So that if you put them in Tekken 8 or if you put them in Tekken 7 in the same way, they would not complain. Okay, because at the end of the day, yeah, people, if someone had a strong combat dash in Tekken 7 can just outrun you, that would not happen unless you're in Tekken God, guys. That would not happen. That would just not happen. And there are way easier way around that. So no, that's for me is just like saying that, oh yeah, the veterans are complaining but the casuals like the game. Yeah, if you make a more defensive game, the casual will like the game anyway, because guess what, they're gonna play it aggressively. Because the nice thing of Tekken, the great thing of Tekken, is that you can have, like, is your knowledge of the character and how deep your knowledge and execution with the character is that makes the game actually complex and difficult. And the perfect instance was Low in Tekken 7. So I played Low in Tekken 7. I played Low for half of my life. But if you don't know how to play Low, if you don't know how to DSS cancel, which is very execution demanding and very difficult, you can still play Low and you can still be very successful with it. And you're playing Tekken until a certain level. Then you learn how to DSS cancel, and then it becomes you unlock a new level of Tekken. But before, even if you don't unlock that, you can still perfectly enjoy the game, perfectly be successful with the character, perfectly apply fundamentals. It's this kind of layers, this kind of depth that there is in the game that gives the game as well the kind of continuity and interest and keeps the game interesting. If you just flat out the whole experience, which I've been saying many times, is what we've been doing with Tekken. I'm sorry, but the veterans are gonna complain because you're just taking away things that they had to work for, and the casuals are not gonna complain because they're casuals. Okay? And they're not gonna complain. They're gonna complain if every character is not usable unless you have to perfectly wave dash. Then yes, of course they're gonna complain because that's too hard of a barrier. But Tekken never had the crazy hard barrier to get over with. And if you tell me is like, oh yeah, but in Tekken 7 if you were going online the first time you were getting destroyed. Now it's still the same. If you play the story mode and then you jump online, you're getting ripped. You're getting destroyed. It's still like this. So I completely disagree with everything they said now. I'm sorry. Let's go on.
だから8が面白いなって言ってる。でこれをじゃあその駆け引きのバランスっていうのを、じゃあもうちょっとベテランの人寄りにしようってやったら、もちろん8が面白いって言ってた人の満足度は下がるわけで。
Not true.
ここは結構トレードオフなので。
Not true.
まあでもそれにしてもちょっとここは極端になってるよねみたいなことをどれぐらいかってちょっと見ながらやってるってところが正直なところなので、あんまりこのどっちっていうか簡単な話じゃないんだよね。そのすごい細かいメモリというかの調整をやってるって感じだよね。e スポーツの結果から見てもシーズン1通して見ても、
中津話したけど、
意外と
期待してたその誰も知らない人が出てくるのが、
誰も知らない今まであんまり活躍できなかった人が上がってる、もしくは知らない人が上がってくる。でも逆に言うとやっぱり上手い人は上位、やっぱり上手い人はちゃんと上位に来る。だけどちゃんと上手い人が上位に来るけど優勝してるキャラが意外と、あとベスト8のキャラがバラバラになってる。これ意外とセブンの時にベテランの人ほどこんな固定のプレイヤーが、こんな固定のキャラが勝つのはどうなんだってベテランの人ほど文句言ってたことが実は一番解消されてた8。
それは間違いないです。
結果から見るとそうなんだよ。8なんだけど、それでも面白いことに、ベテランの人ほどこのちょっと新システムが気に入らないって言ってるって、この矛盾が面白いんだよね。だからそれはどっちを立ったらどっちが立たないみたいなやっぱ細かいバランスで成り立ってるのを俺らは割と頑張ってやってるつもりなんだけど、でも e スポーツの結果から見ると結構いい俺らが思い描いた通りにはなってるよね。割と。
話してたのが。
Let me say this: the volatility of the game is still visible even in the esports factor. Yes, what it says is true. The top players are still the top players. They are unmatched, and it's true. But one thing that we see very different from the past is that there is not been a real dominant player this year. There is none. The only one that you can say was dominant was Ulsan, because he was the best one playing with the best character when he was in shape. Ulsan was the best player until he had to deliver for the TWT, and he failed miserably. At the end of the season, he was done. He was cooked, and he didn't deliver. But apart from that, all the players were just rotating. The second most consistent player you could say was Atif. Again, with Dragonov. And why I say Atif was the second most consistent player, he got second at the 3 biggest events of the year. He got second at Evo Vegas, he got second at Esports World Cup, he got second at Tekken World Tour Finals. Arslan, he was not consistent at all. He won Evo Vegas, great achievement. But guess what? Atif with 3 seconds made way more money than him. Way more money. But that's Arslan's biggest result. And then if you got to see who won every single big tournament, it was always a very inconsistent rotation of players. Why? Because the game is very volatile. Then yes, they are the best player, and obviously there is still a lot of skills that still moves into that. But no, to me this is Friday. Everything they're saying now is just Friday. I'm sorry. If you make a game that is way more defensive, still giving the possibility to be aggressive, no worries. The average, they're still gonna play it aggressively. No worries about that. They're still gonna play it aggressively. And guess what? They're not gonna complain that much. Because if you make a plus 17 move, if you make a plus 17 hit engager plus 7, you wanna know something? A casual will not even notice that. Because frames are not into casual players. Let's keep on going.
格ゲーにとっては結構いいバランスというのはキャラバンじゃないです。製品としての。というのは周りの人たちでまだ鉄拳やったことない人が8から入って、俺でも頑張れば勝てそうって気持ちに8がさせてくれてる。人たち、でもじゃあ、そいつらがミシマスターに勝てるかというと勝てないじゃん、だからそのちょうどいい
絶対勝てるかってそうでもない。やっぱりベテランの方がうまいっていうのは
とは言わないけど、そういう
そうなんだよね。
なんか勝てそうっていうのがやっぱ大事じゃないですか。格ゲーを続けるには次やったら勝てるかもっていう。まあやっぱりその移動面を強化するのは、テッケン8のゲーム性でアグレッシブっていうものがあるので、その攻撃に対するやっぱ防御手段として 3D 格闘ゲームはやっぱ横移動によって相手の技を避けるっていうところで、横移動、横歩きですね。横歩きの先行入力ができる。
There's good editing though here. I'm not gonna comment the last part of his weaker player winning after 2 days in a legacy game, in a game that is based on knowledge.
鉄拳シリーズずっとしゃがんだ状態で手前に横に移動できなかったっていうところで、鉄拳8から始めた多くの、新規のプレイヤーはなぜ横移動があるのにしゃがんだ状態から手前に横移動できないんだ、これ分かりにくい。遊んでいた自分からしてもなんでだろうっていう分かりにくいところを解消したかったところで、防御面の強化っていう点とその新規にとっての分かりにくいっていうところを、改善してあげるっていうところでしゃがみからの横移動ができるようになって、レスポンスよく、キャラクターを動かせるし防御面の行動も強化できるっていうところで、そういった変更を加えて
移動的にじゃなくてなんかテクニカル面。
So that's good. That's good. I'm really not gonna spend any words on that nonsense of less knowledgeable player should be allowed to win. That's in a game that is based on knowledge is for me is such a paradox. Saying something like this to me is paradox, because you're literally declaring with different words we want a casino gameplay, and then what they say is true. It's like the veteran player at the end of the day most of the time will win. It's like, no, the veteran player will win a first to 10. The veteran player will win a first to 10. But if you play a fake first to 2 online, everyone can win. Everyone can win. If it would be already forced first to 3, it would be different. Because this game is perfect for first to 3. Perfect. For pacing, for for adaptation times, first to 3 is the perfect setup that this game should have. First to 2, this game is awfully hit or miss. Awful. And look, I can tell you this little story, very quick. Last time, like when last local I went to, I was one of the first there, so I was playing casual over there, and there was a guy next to me and say, "Okay, can I play a couple of matches?" Of course, we're in a good time. And then he asked me which rank. He asked me which rank I was, and I told him, and he told me his rank. And so basically, he told me, "Oh, I am R-stuck in Fujin." Okay, he was blue rank R-stuck. He was a king player. Very like execution level, guys. It was insane. He was throwing out blue spark throws all day. Okay, and we played a decent set amount of sets. I don't know how many. But guess what? He won a couple of them because he was throwing shenanigan things, and it was basically, this game allowed him just to play messy and throwing me off. Okay, plus my throwback shit. That's on me. But when we went to then, okay, now we had to give our space because there is other people needs to play. Let's do a first to three. Okay, and we lock in after a long amount of sets. Obviously, I won. Obviously, I don't want to say, oh, I destroyed him, but it was quite one-sided. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time. The dude was great. We had a lot of fun. It was very enjoyable. They were very enjoyable matches. The point being, though, that even if I, being the better player, can in a long set express to be the better player, because in long sets you have the time to adapt and create the difference in victories. The game is not structured. The way that you structure the game is not to be played in long sets. You rarely play long sets. Very rarely. You mainly play short sets. The experience that you get from the game is in short sets. And therefore, you are literally creating a very casino environment. A very unstable environment where the best not always win. And just to be clear, I'm not saying, oh, I'm not God of Destruction because people mashes everything. No, I would never say that. I'm not God of Destruction because I'm not to that level yet. But this is the kind of scenario that they're creating, where if you play with a character like King, or characters that they are very setup heavy, I don't want to mention character, very setup heavy character, you can literally climb up the ladder so easily. Way more easily than even just a super strong character than Brian, which still requires a bit of understanding a bit more of the game, or even Kazuya. So yeah, that's for me, like, all of this that they said in this moment, it just enrages me so much. This is gonna be such a long video.
難しかったものなんだよね。
俺とキモさんのごめんなさいだ。ごめんなさいだ。本当はそうしたいけど、
スクリプト的な感じ
昔は難しかったですよ。
エンジニアの協力も必要で時間もかかるから今までやる。
The defense part, the more movement, hey, we are all happy for that.
ゲームの駆け引きになってた。
例えば和也のかかと落としで手前いけないからこういうことしようとかそういうことでしょ。
Yeah, we all know that is the unfairness of online against Kazuya.
守ってる側も相手の攻めに対して、どう、今までできなかったことを試すことで、防御面的な強化もされるし、攻める側はそれにじゃあどう対応するかっていうのは新しい駆け引き。
だから50-50じゃなくなる場面が多い。
Oh.
地味に鉄拳トークライブで見せたドラゴンの系統
The nerf kick of Dragon. They even say that.
あんだけもうね、オンラインの一定のプレイヤー層はあれしか出してこないから、いや本当あれ一番気に入ってる。
結構細かいところだね。
個人的になんかもう被害があったみたいな感じで。
いやいっぱい被害あってるよ。だからじゃあそれも言いたかったのが。みんな何でもかんでも俺が決めてると思ってるけど、
そんなわけないです。
じゃあ原さん、いや違うツイッターだよ。原さんとかね。でもそうじゃなくて、もうチームにね役割がある。で役割のプロジェクトの当初はなんかですねアグレッシブのコンセプトを作り出すのはそうだったけど、今の俺の役割は割と結構プレイしてで。プレイヤーの気持ちに50-50だな、これはここひどいよ、中津なんとかしてくれとかって結構言ってるじゃない。
まあ本当は言ってるよ。
だから俺PS5 のシーンも両方ファイトパス買って両。
First of all, you don't buy them, you get them. You don't buy them. You don't buy them. I would never believe you buy them. You're a freaking ops in Bandai. You don't buy them. Okay, these kind of things like that. This video triggers me so much for little things that shouldn't be trigger me. There was so many cringe things. But anyway, the fact that Murray gives feedbacks and everything, I think as well, is not the greatest thing. I don't know Murray's level. I think I saw him playing once against the TMM and he got absolutely obliterated. Like total obliteration. So in my opinion, someone that gives solid feedbacks on everything on the game should be someone that is very competent at the game. Not a pro player, but someone that is very competent in the game and that has at the same time obviously game development understanding. That's the kind of balance, and it's not easy to find someone with that qualifications, obviously. And talking about that now, it makes it very difficult. I understand now it makes it very difficult to understand that, but it's a very delicate position to be. And as well, actually, let me tell you something. Expressing to be someone that gives these feedbacks and basically directs the orientation that some of the decision taken go. Well, it puts a big target on your head, Murray.
両方完走してて、それをもってプレイヤーの一部はこれは感情的、プレイヤーの一部のこういうことを言ってるのはまあ一理あるのかもなとか、そういうところで、まあドラゴンオフのあれはその
Dragon of Kick, guys. Dragon of Kick, like, is a move that when you use a E-dash loses frame for how plus it is. It's insane.
もっと見てる人にも分かりやすくしたいっていうところで、鉄拳シリーズで初めてバトル中にナンヒットコンボとかカウンターとか
な
プラクティスでしか出てない
クリーンって表示が出ることで、実際この見てると今反撃できてたんだとか、すごいダメージのコンボ決めてるとか、そういう視覚的な変化が初めてバトルに出るようになったので、そこは結構
I'm suffering. This is the kind of change I can. Okay, this change. This change. I can see new player like this change a lot because it put it in lines with more famous fighting games like 2D fighting games. They always have the combo counter and everything. But again, we go back to the true nature of Tekken being the grounded fighting game that does not have these kind of things. Okay, the combo counter, I don't have anything against that. That's flavor. It doesn't give you any insight. Okay, there is not experience coming into play. But again, Tekken is a game about experience, and you put all of these things, and it's like there is no more experience. You know when it's a punish. You know when you miss a punish. You learn that with experience. You know when it's a counter it because you already put very clear indicators about that. You know when it's a clean hit because the move is having a different it has a different animation, because a move that just sweeps one of your leg or a move that launches you like sidestep 4 from Fang, you notice the difference if it's a clean hit or not, or a demo man from Paul. You don't need an indicator because the game itself is the indicator, because you put so much effort into do very unique animations depending on the situations, which is a very good plus that you do in this game. It's so unique. And then I really hope, I don't want this, I really hope I will be allowed to just take them off. I really don't want to see this when I'm playing. There is already too much shit going around, and now I will have even more informations. It's like do you remember when Elden Ring got released and there was if Ubisoft would make Elden Ring, with all the missions and everything? That's like the same thing in fighting game terms. Let's go on.
意外と邪魔になるんじゃないかなとか、なんかトーンマナー的に出ない方がいいかなと思ってたんだけど、いざ出すと出てる方がやっぱり見てて分かりやすいし、自分もプレイしてても 今うまくいったっていうのがパニッシュが決まった時とか気持ちいいんで、そういったところは結構気に入った。
あれはかたくなにね、かたくなに俺が絶対に出すなって言ってたんですよ、ね、俺と木本さんが大嫌いだった。
そうあえてプラクティスじゃねえんだ
大嫌いだった。要は数値化すること自体がもうなんていうの、その難しく見える、いや難しく見えるというか、それが全部それが全てになっちゃうじゃないですか、世の中って数値化しない方が自分で考えたりとか、
Yeah.
コンボとかもだってもうコンボの数を競うようになってきちゃうと、もう限界数と最低限の数だけの世界になっちゃうじゃないですか。だからそれはなんか逆にこう分かんないところがあっても面白いんじゃないかだったんだけど、最近はやっぱり昔と変わってきたのはストリーミングで見るっていう、そう見てる人が何が起きてるかが知りたいだったりとか、プレイヤーと同じ気持ちになりたいとか、そういう意味でニーズが変わったので、もう今回からもういいよいいよいいよって言ったんだけど、今までは時代はやっぱ違ったというか、鉄拳なりのアナログな面白さを出したいっていうのがちょっと思いが強かったからダメって言ってたんだけども、今回からねオープンしてるからね、
そこ結構大きいです。1年通して鉄拳実はそのアーケードがなくて家庭用で一斉ローンチしたの鉄拳8が初めて、僕らも大変だったんですけど、シーズン1の中で実は本当にシーズン2ぐらいのボリュームの変更をちょっと加えなきゃいけないぐらいの調整をして 1.5 みたいな状態にしたんですよ。それでもまだやっぱりもっとよくしたい部分もあったし、ユーザーが楽しんでる部分と不満に感じてる部分があって、それは本当チームでみんなで市場の声を拾って、本当にパッチノートマゲさんがものすごい数訳してるんですけど、シーズン2でやっぱりもっとファンの期待に応えたいってところで、真剣にいろいろ議論してよくしようとしたので、そこはバトルに関しては結構変わってるけど楽しい部分もたくさんあるので、ぜひ自分のキャラクターの調整を楽しむのもそうなんですけど、バトルのシステム部分の変化だったりとか、さっき言ったような UI の視覚的に出る情報の変化も含めてまた新しく楽しめるようにできているんで、細かい部分も含めていろいろと触ってまた意見を。
I wasn't expecting something like this. While I can agree some of the concept that they express, that when this concept gets applied with what they do and the decision they take, I'm always like, why? Why? This is not necessary. Why this? Oh, I honestly, I'm so, like, the sidestepping improvement, that's great. Then they have the part where they say we want people just to be winning in a short set. So you want basically your people that gets attached to the game that plays a lot more not feel rewarded for the extra hours that they put, but still feel like at the end of the day there is no meaning in to put the hours into the game. And then you have this thing of the visual thing. Like this, I know that this one is very divisible and it comes from me being a veteran of the series, but being a knowledge game and being such a well animated game, there are so many unique animation. You don't need something that tells you counter it to see a counter it. You do a great job with sound effect and visual clues. That's your counter it. You don't need something that tells you counter it coming into the way. That's for me that is just, I see it as bad. I honestly see it as no good. No good. I'm in practice mode, I'm fine, but in replay mode or put in tournament mode, if you're showing a tournament and you want the people to see this, yes, in tournament mode you can have this kind of extra. I understand that. In spectator mode, yes, but not when I'm fighting. No, because me knowing more than my opponent is an important factor of Tekken. I honestly don't know what to say. I was thinking about playing Tekken later during the stream. I honestly think I'm just gonna go back to Bleach if it doesn't crash. I'm gonna keep on playing Bleach for now. This was disappointing, kinda worrying. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm very confused. But that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned. On Monday night, there is gonna be the live. Gonna be around until 6 a.m. Gonna stay awake all night to watch the stream. So yeah, guys, let's see what they're gonna show us. They're gonna show us all these things they probably mentioned here, definitely, and we'll see if they're gonna say something about the cheaters. But apart from that, I've been the Jam. You'll be awesome, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.